Data collaboration enables what? Glad you asked. Innovative companies to uncover powerful new insights that transform customer experiences and fuel business growth. With LiveRamp, marketers get the industry's only interoperable platform for data collaboration across every cloud, walled garden, and media platform. Learn more at liveramp.com. Hello, everyone, and thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I wrecked your thing.
Oh, my goodness.
Go. Sorry, I'll ask you my question in the recording.
Hello, everyone.
I just lost.
Thanks for hanging out with us for the
I literally just
Weekly
lost.
Listen, an eMarketer podcast made possible by LiveRamp. Anything else to add, Suzy, during my introduction?
No, I can wait till you're recording.
Okay, this is it. No, we're live.
Oh, you are? Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
My question was, are you going to give us the points?
I was kidding. This is not the time.
Oh, sorry.
Go on.
No, that's fine.
You could tell us.
Are you going to give us points after each 90 seconds?
You? No. The other guys? Probably. This is the Friday show that is going to miss spending Fridays with you. This is the last Weekly Listen show ever. Not the last podcast we'll have on Fridays. We'll have something different for you in the new year. This is the last one, the last Weekly Listen. I was expecting perhaps a few tears. Nothing? Okay.
I was looking for
Marcus
the
Johnson.
reaction.
No, it's fine. Too late.
I'm too emotional to even speak. So
Good save.
Because it's not a video podcast, nobody's seeing my tears. But trust me, they are flowing.
Well played. No tears at all. I'm your host, Marcus Johnson.
I think I'm going to win again.
Unlikely. In today's show, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
So what does that mean? The folks who are right that say that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, they are happier people and happier in their overall lives, particularly around the holiday season when they pop in, a 1980s classic action movie to enjoy the festivities of the season.
Why some records are unbreakable.
But another truly astounding statistic, and one that is not likely to be broken, is he played an average of 48.5 minutes per game in that same 61-62 season.
What are the best movie retailer collaborations?
Toy Story and Frozen made more money in retail than they did in the box office. Star Wars, at last count, which was a bit ago, they made over $69 billion in merch collabs. Can you imagine?
And how American households have changed. Join me for this episode. We have three wonderful people. Let's meet them. We start with our senior analyst who covers everything retail and e-commerce for us. He's based in New York City. It's Blake Droesch.
Hey, Marcus. Good to be here. I'm sorry that it's very sad that this is the last episode of the Weekly Listen, but I'm very excited to see which new awesome formats you and the rest of the great podcasting team here at eMarketer is going to be cooking up in 2025.
Thanks. It's a little too much pressure, Blake, if I'm honest.
Also, did he just win now?
Maybe.
Just speaking from the heart.
Yeah, okay.
It's an emotional day.
Yeah, okay.
We're also joined by one of our vice presidents of content who heads up our retail and e-commerce desk. She's also based in New York. It's Suzy Davidkhanian.
I am so excited to be here, but also very sad because now I will never have the chance to win. I barely won, and now it's never going to happen.
True.
It's all about me, not about you.
Okay, good. That's fun. And finally, we have one of our other vice presidents of content, covers everything else. He is based in Maine now. It's Paul Verna.
Bittersweet day, but I'm always happy to be here.
Terrific. Great to have you, fella. Great to have all of you guys, as I mentioned, for our last ever Weekly Listen episode. And so given that it's our last one, which means the end of dinner party data, Blake had the very good idea of making the last episode full of dinner party data. I thought it was Suzy's idea for a very long time. Turns out it's Blake's. But because Suzy's on, she demanded we turn this into a competition.
Obviously.
Of course. So we have 3 rounds. Each contestant will offer a piece of dinner party data for each round. The more interesting the data, the more points you get. Most points wins. Paul came up with the names of the rounds. So everyone's chipped in to put this last Weekly Listen episode together. So let's get to it. We start, of course, as Paul's coined, with breakfast party data.
Gotta have 3 meals every day, folks. Don't skip meals.
So good. All right, let's start with Suzy. Suzy, what you got for us first? Round 1. 5 points available per dinner party data piece. So if you get 5, that's because it was excellent. 1, atrocious.
Oh, I'm glad there's no 0.
Well, really none atrocious, yeah.
Okay, ready?
one pity.
So,
Yes.
No, I don't like pity points. If you are in the US right now, maybe around the world, but in the US, and you go to a retail store, you are seeing a lot of green. In fact, Paul accidentally bought a Wicked gravy kit and had green gravy at Thanksgiving. And so that got me to think, last year it was Barbie and everything was pink, and now there's green Wicked collaborations everywhere. And that was a movie that was apparently, Wicked was very high grossing. It was apparently the highest grossing Broadway musical of all time.
The green gravy was the highest grossing thing because it was so gross.
Wicked
accidentally buy green gravy.
Back to my
Sorry.
data.
Yeah, okay,
So what I wanted to do was figure out, because we all know that there are some movies that are excellent, and then there are some movies that do really well because of their collabs at the retail sales. So some movies that their retail sales collaborations were better than box office dollars include Lion King, Toy Story, Frozen, Minions. That list is pretty long. But do you know, now I'm not going to give you a top 3 because a lot of the 24, 23 data is not in yet. But can you guess what is the top merch collab movie of all time? Movie, maybe series of all time. That was a hint.
Toy Story.
No.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Frozen.
No. Toy Story and Frozen made more money in retail than they did in the box office. Star Wars, at last count, which was a bit ago, they made over $69 billion in merch collabs. Can you imagine? The next one, which I don't think I have it in order exactly, but the Marvel Cinematic Universe group of movies also have been said to make over $41 billion. Harry Potter is another one that did a lot at retail sales. So I thought that was cool. So retailers, when you're thinking about collaborations, it's not insignificant, and it might get you a little bit of extra sales. Gravy.
Oh, I see what you've done. Well played. 4 interesting points. 4 out of a potential 5.
Wow, Suzy.
Yeah.
Suzy showed up to play.
Yeah,
Guys.
she did.
Yep.
That was good. That was good. All right, Paul, what you got for us?
Okay, I have a number and it's 20,462 pounds. And I'm wondering if anybody can venture a guess as to what that refers to.
My brain size.
20,462
Here we
pounds.
go.
British currency or pounds as in weight?
You tell me, Blake. You tell me.
Oh, that's a good one. The crown. The diamond crown of Queen Elizabeth.
So if you were wearing that
20
crown,
grand.
Suzy, would it be heavier than your brain or would it be exactly the same weight?
Oh, it was the dollar value, the pound value I was
got it,
thinking about.
Got it. Marcus?
Well, you think a crown weighs 20,000 pounds?
Dollar, currency pounds, not weight pounds.
Well,
You think
20,000
the
pounds would be pretty low for the Queen
Yeah.
of the
It'd be
Crown.
like a drop.
Oh, I don't know why I was thinking about trillions. I was still on
20
my
grand.
movie thing.
No,
Oh my God.
we're not talking billions or trillions. We're just talking 20,462 pounds.
Oh, no, I take it back.
All right.
I don't have a guess.
All right. I will tell you then, because nobody was ever going to
34th
guess this one.
Nope.
It is or was the largest wheel of cheese.
Oh, how cute.
That's too much.
A wheel of cheddar cheese in Millersburg, Ohio. But I was expecting it to be one of those Parmesan wheels because I've seen pictures of those, they're bigger than 3 people stacked vertically. And during one of the earthquakes in Italy, a bunch of them rolled down a hill and it was scary. But this is a wheel of cheddar weighing 20,462 pounds. The best part of the story, though, is that apparently somebody accidentally disconnected the power cord to the refrigerator for this wheel of cheese, and it all went to waste. Somewhere in the 90s that happened. So I don't know what the status is now. I probably don't want to know or go near it, but that is or was the largest wheel of cheese ever.
Not sad about it. Cheddar's terrible. Paul.
Uh-oh.
2 interesting points. If it had been Brie, I'd have given you 3. Not for cheddar. I won't do it. Blake, what you got for us?
I have some inflation data because, this is, after all, a marketing and retail podcast, so I'm keeping it professional.
Oh, very nice.
So this year, Juan Soto signed
Finally,
a
someone.
15-year contract with the New York Mets for $765 million, and that comes out to $51 million per year. 10 years ago, in 2014, Giancarlo Stanton signed a 13-year deal for $325 million with the Miami Marlins, making it the most lucrative contract in American sports history at the time. But that's only $25 million per year compared to Juan Soto's $51 million per year. So for Juan Soto, that's a 104% salary increase for the most valuable player in baseball compared to 10 years ago. For the rest of us, how much of a salary increase have we gotten, right? So in 2014, the median household income was $53,000. In 2023, last year, the most recent data that's available, the median household income was $80,000. So that means we only got a 59% increase compared to the most valuable player in baseball who got a 104% salary increase over the last 10 years. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the CPI, the inflation index, has increased approximately 33.27% since 2014, meaning that $1 in 2014 is equivalent to roughly $1.33 today, based on inflation rates over the last decade. So, the takeaway here is that if you're mad about inflation, just remember that Juan Soto is actually only making roughly 70% more than Giancarlo Stanton made 10 years ago. So the stars are really not all that different from us, and they're suffering from inflation as well. So get over yourselves, people.
And also, Marcus is going to make a lot more than this with all the new innovations he's going to bring to Behind the Numbers in 2025. No pressure.
Am I?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, good.
I'm very excited to be on the next
You didn't get the memo
episode.
about your bonus?
No, I'll talk to Stuart's going to be thrilled to hear about that. Blake's out here in the weeds. Excellent work. Very diligent. Not quite as interesting as the movie stuff, though, from Suzy. So I'm going to go three interesting points. I was already mad about his contract, and now I'm even angrier.
Oh, wait, can I just say one thing? Sorry to cut off the conversation. I'm not sure that household income increase is directly related to salary increase, because you could have an extra person in your household, or I don't know. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Maybe I misunderstood what you said.
You're trying to pick apart other people's dinner parties today.
No, I just don't want him to. I just want to make sure we all sound really good. But I didn't fully focus on the entirety. So you know best,
Okay.
Blake.
Yes, it could include two people. That is true.
Or like a new person, like if you have a 22-year-old, a boomerang kid that came back and all of a sudden they're part of your household income.
Dinner party data is not open to cross-examination.
Okay, just
Suzy?
checking.
You settle down.
I waited till you gave him a score.
Suzy, yes.
I feel like that should be, if you challenge the play and then Marcus shuts it down, you should lose some points for that.
I was
Yeah, okay,
tempted.
nice try.
I
Yeah.
was tempted.
I
And
waited.
how many challenges do we get? One per episode or zero?
Just the none. Just
I
none.
just wanted to make sure we all
Thanks, Suzy.
knew that I was actively listening.
Okay.
Listen more, talk less. It's my new thing.
Really? It's not
I'm
going
trying.
well. Suzy has 4 points, Blake with 3, Paul with 2 after the first round, which is, of course, called breakfast party data. Time now, as Paul calls it, for lunch party data. Paul, you can go first for this round.
Yeah, so I'm going to list 7 dates or years, and see if anybody can guess as to what they're about. The first one is 1704. The next one is 1891. Is everyone taking notes?
Trying to.
You
Yes.
should be. Next one is 1922.
Oh, God, hang on.
Next one is 1941. Next one is 1978.
This has anything to do with Argentina, I swear.
Next one is 1994. And the last one is 1996. And I'll give you a hint. The first one, 1704, is obviously my birth year. But for the rest, you're on your own.
Marcus, I think it's what you said. It's like when Argentina won the World Cup. I just don't think it started in the 1700s.
It didn't, no, so it can't be that, but I thought it was a dig.
Why are
The
you guys
England
all
team
so
not winning.
fixated about Argentina? What is it with you?
We love
email me
it.
daily.
I mean, it has to be some sort of, for the dates to go back that far. I mean, there are only a few things that have really existed for that long, and it could either have to do something with books or plays or poetry or wars, revolutions,
I'll give you a real hint.
religious movements.
It's very related to our business.
Oh, digital transformation-y things, like some big technology that popped. like a
In
phone
1704?
and lights and internet, but you didn't have.
Even closer to our business, or to my part of our business, let's say.
Advertising, media. The
There
first.
you go. There you go.
Oh, was it the first ad of each medium?
Yes.
First TV ad, first radio ad, first.
So,
Wow, that's
1704.
cool.
Wow.
1704, first newspaper ad.
Wow.
1891 is one of my favorites. So that is when and forgive me for the redundant title, it's not mine, but it's the Associated Bill Posters Association of the US and Canada. But it is now the Outdoor Advertising Association of America. So that was formed in 1891, believe it or not.
Wow.
Billboard advertising, though, or outdoor advertising, actually goes back to ancient times. I don't know if we can determine when the first outdoor poster or slate or whatever was created. 1922 is the first radio ad. 1941, first TV ad for Bulova watches. 1978 was the first email ad, which surprised me a bit because, email as we know it didn't really exist until the mid-90s, but this is in, old chat forums, and it was the first spam ad. 1994 was the first online ad, and 1996 was the first search ad, interestingly before Google was formed.
Wow.
One other little nugget about the Outdoor Association. So that was 1891. 3 years later, Billboard magazine was established, which is my alma mater. Everybody knows Billboard as the trade publication of the music industry, but it was actually formed at that time to cover the outdoor advertising industry. And then it segued to covering music and other forms of entertainment. But at that time, that's what it was, and that's why it's called Billboard, or at the time it was called The Billboard.
Very good. Very on brand. Very interesting. But you ran long. So I was going to give you 5. I've taken 1 away. 4 points for Paul in round 2. Very good indeed. I can't believe we've not had that one yet, actually. That's a really clever one. Blake, what you got for us?
This is, so I'm going back to my tried and true dinner party data source, YouGov. I think a couple weeks ago, I found some really interesting data from YouGov about what airline passenger behaviors do Americans think are acceptable versus unacceptable. So now I'm back with which hotel guest behaviors do Americans think are acceptable or unacceptable. So the least acceptable behaviors for hotel guests are taking decorative items from the room home with them. I think that's very unacceptable. You might incur a fine as well. Smoking in the non-smoking rooms, that's not good. And surprisingly, taking coat hangers and towels home with them. I'd say that's wrong, but it's not necessarily a cardinal offense. The most acceptable behaviors are requesting extra amenities such as pillows or blankets, calling reception to complain about noisy neighbors, or leaving the linens on the bed when checking out. I think most people probably don't strip hotel beds before they check out unless they're very, very kind and courteous people. So here's where people are split. I find this the most interesting. It is roughly split in acceptability to leave the room lights on when you're not in the room. 40% say that's okay. 46% say that it's not okay. Leaving a tip for housekeeping. This one's surprising. 42% say that that's not okay, which I agree with. But 35% think it's okay to not leave a tip for the housekeeper. That's a tough job. You should really be tipping. Another interesting one is 50% said it's not acceptable to wear pajamas in the common hotel area versus 37% who say it's acceptable to do that.
37%?
So yeah, they said it's acceptable to wear pajamas in like the lobby of the hotel that you're staying.
Don't want to see it. Absolutely no.
I mean, pajamas are so cute now. You might not know it's a pajama.
A matching set? Long sleeves? Buttons? No, still not okay. Very good.
What about making the instant coffee in the room? Acceptable or not?
Yes.
Suzy, you're
instant
venturing
coffee
into
is always
dangerous territory.
Yeah, you are.
With
Instant coffee is always acceptable. Okay, believable. Blake, I was going to give you 4, but you ran long. 3 for Blake. 3 for Blake. Suzy, round 2.
Okay.
Go.
Wait, what was Paul's first score?
Don't worry about that. Okay.
Ready?
Focus.
In my research, I saw that McKinsey has a consumer-wise survey that they field pretty often. And by that, it's once a quarter. They have about 4,000 US consumers, and they do some research around trading down. And so I thought it was really interesting that even though there is a lot of hope for the economy, there's still also this tension of reticence and like people being nervous about spending. 74% of people said that they're going to trade down. But what I thought was interesting is how they're going to manifest that. So can you guys guess what the number one way, according to McKinsey, the options that they chose is trading down? They are going to adjust their case pack. So 1 in 2, I'm rounding up, 1 in 2 people will adjust the case pack or the size of what they're buying to help with the price of what they're purchasing. 37, 1 in 3 will change retailers. Some, a third, will delay a purchase. And what I was really surprised is that it's only 1/4 who said that they're going to change the brand or go to private label, which surprised me a lot. That said, there's also 40% of people who plan to splurge for the holidays. The younger cohort is the one that is going to splurge the most. And the top 3 things people are going to splurge on are probably what you would expect over the holidays: dining out and going to bars, 1, apparel. And then what kind of surprised me and maybe a little bit sad too was groceries is the number 3 thing people are going to splurge on over the holidays.
I guess there's no option for using buy now, pay later and forgetting
There
to pay.
was. Oh, not the forgetting to pay. Buy now, pay later from like how they're going to manage the increases and this tension. Kate was ranked, but it was the lowest ranking option. Okay. But what I thought was really interesting was a term I hadn't heard before. I've heard a lot of minimalist, but I hadn't heard about underconsumption core. And so that's when 86% of younger consumers in their Q3 survey in that wave said that it's not that they're backlashing against spending, it's that they're very okay with not spending as much and trading down or delaying purchases because they're thinking about spending less on the cool things, the next new hot things, so that they can help be more socially conscious. And for them, buying things doesn't equal happiness. So while Wicked is drawing a lot of attention, hopefully it'll help also spur spending with that younger cohort.
2 points.
You did that on purpose.
And you ran long too. All right. Rather coincidentally,
not my best work,
everyone's tied on 6. Suzy had 4, then 2. Paul 2, then 4, and then Blake 3, then 3. If you've not ran long, then you guys maybe would have been out in front. But you're not. All tied on 6 as we head into the third and final round. It's of course dinner party data. Blake, you're up first.
Okay. So in my final piece of dinner party data of all time, I hope to add a little bit of clarity around what is a timeless debate for the ages, and that is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Now, I have spoken about this on the podcast before, but there's fresh data from Civic Science.
Okay.
And according to US adults, 37% say that Die Hard is indeed a Christmas movie, whereas 48% of Americans are wrong and say that no, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Well, guess what, 48% who are wrong? I've got a new slice of data for you, for the 48% who say that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie to chew on. So, according to the people who say that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, 59% of them say that they are either very happy or happy with their lives. Well, just over 50% of those who say that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie report being happy or very happy with their lives. So what does that mean? The folks who are right that say that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, they are happier people. They're happier in their overall lives, particularly around the holiday season when they pop in, a 1980s classic action movie to enjoy the festivities of the season, rather than the people, the Grinches, the Scrooges, who say that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie and they live sad, unhappy, and unfulfilled lives.
This is self-reported happiness?
Yes.
Okay.
I think It's a Wonderful Life is an action movie, personally.
It got a little complicated in there, if I'm honest, Blake. Another 3, because it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. And I agree with you, it probably is a Christmas film. All right, Blake's on 9. Suzy or Paul will need a 3 to tie, 4 or more to beat him. Suzy, you're up.
Guys, my palms are sweaty. I'm just telling you. Too bad you can't see it. Okay, ready? So my last bit of dinner party data is also retail related, and Capital One Shopping has a report on gift cards. Can you guys guess what the projected value of gift cards in the US is going to be in 2024? I'm not giving you time because then you're wasting my time, and I know that that's a tactic. $325 billion higher. It's like projected up 18%, doing way better than retail in general. The average value is typically $48. What I think is fascinating for retailers is that 40% of people who have gift cards, the value goes unused of some of their gift cards. That's $23 billion, which is a lot of money, right, for a retailer. It's like free money for a retailer. 50% of people who purchase a gift card, especially when you think about it as a gift, do so because it's convenient and because they think 90% of those people also think that it is very acceptable to give it as a gift. What is most important for a retailer is that 76% of people who get a gift card spend it within the first month. So as a retailer, you really have to think about how do you get those people to come in and shop with you and capitalize on that, because also 60% spend more than the value of the card, and the average extra that they spend, that halo effect, is $32, which is a lot. It's really important to think about it. The other thing that I thought was a fun fact, which I don't understand, is people buy themselves gift cards.
Really?
Also, in New York State, retailers are required to give back the money to unused gift cards to the people who purchased them if they claim them. So, for example, like I gave a gift card a few years ago to someone who never used it. So I went and filled out the form on the New York State website, and I got the money back in a check.
Wait, but how did you know that they hadn't used it?
You took the money back?
Yeah, I took the money back.
They told you.
From the gift card you gave me?
No. If the after a certain amount of time, if the gift card is not spent, then the retailer is required to report that to the state along with who purchased it. So if the purchaser wants to go to the website, and it's like the Division of Consumer Protection, and if it's an expired gift card, they can get the money back, because the retailer is required to report it.
I've never heard of this, but 65% of gift cards are purchased directly from the retailer or the institution. So that's kind of a weird liability for them in New York.
All right, very good. I won't tell you the score yet, otherwise you know who won. Well, not because Paul's still got to go, but you get it. Paul, you're up.
Oh my God, I
May
think
I
I
say,
won.
though,
Before you even got to go, Paul, I won.
Marcus, you told Blake his number, but you didn't tell Suzy her number.
Yeah, I can't, because if I say it, then you might know that Blake, maybe he's out already, maybe he's not. So now it's all to play for, yeah.
Fascinating.
See what I did?
Crazy.
Dubiously subjective.
Whoa.
He's just trying
Steady
to
on.
add some drama, a little fanfare to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I've never heard of the weekly listen, Rested Soul, as being subjective. So
Oh, yeah, no, of course. You're right.
Yeah.
I take it back.
Thank you.
All right. My dinner party data is Unbreakable sports records. While it's true that records are meant to be broken, there are some records that I don't think, and I'm not the only one who thinks this way, they will ever be broken. I'm going to mention 3. So Wilt Chamberlain's most popular record is his 100-point game, closely followed by his average of 5.4 points per game in the 1961-62 season. But another truly astounding statistic, and one that is not likely to be broken, is he played an average of 48.5 minutes per game in that same 61-62 season. As Marcus, you know better than anyone, there are 48 minutes in a regulation game, so that includes points played in overtime. Yes. So that's one record.
Guys, I don't know what sport that is.
Basketball.
Oh, basketball.
Yes, we won't take time off of my clock with that.
No.
We wouldn't dare, yeah.
So Nolan Ryan's strikeout records, 5,714. That's just not going to be broken just by the sheer volume, the longevity of his career. He played 27 years at a time when starting pitchers played deep and long. Honorable mention of Unbreakable sports records goes to Cy Young for 749 complete games. Baseball is played differently now, and there are very, very, very few complete games, so that one is definitely going to stand the test of time. And then the last one is Wayne Gretzky's career points record of 2,857. The interesting thing about this record is that if Wayne Gretzky had never scored a goal, he would still have more points than anyone else in NHL history by virtue of his assists.
What about Barry Bonds?
There are many, many more that we could talk about, including Michael Phelps' gold medals, a lot of football records, and yeah, Barry Bonds, others, but
LeBron
in the interest
James,
of time,
points.
and I know what you're trying to do, Blake, you're trying to make me go over my 90 seconds,
Actually,
and it's just not going
you're
to
already
work.
almost a minute
you're
over.
over
Sorry,
there.
Paul. Yeah.
That's tough.
That's called
Wait,
its
but so-
defense.
Was the second one baseball? The first one was basketball. The second
Basketball,
one was
baseball,
baseball,
and
and
hockey.
then obviously hockey.
Yeah.
The greatest sport of all time.
Wow. Very nice. Very nice indeed, folks. All right. That's what we've got time for breakfast, lunch, and dinner party data. I don't even know what we're calling this. Count the scores. I'll also take a drum roll. This week's winner of the championship belt of the last week of Listen Dinner Party Data is Suzy, Blake, and Paul! Joint
nice.
winners!
This
for
is
the
a
final
fate. To Suzy,
weekly-
this is a fate that's
Listen.
even worse than losing.
I know.
It's the
That's
biggest
why I
pity.
did it.
Having to share, yep.
No, I don't mind
You
sharing.
all
It was
won
like pity.
and
Thank
lost.
you for coming and doing this with me. I'm going to miss you. Pity win.
Kind
Now,
of.
Marcus, don't you usually bring dinner party data to weekly listen episodes?
I do indeed,
Not to
sir.
put you on the spot.
And I've brought one for today. But before I go, we would like Victoria, who edits the show, to also jump in on this because she listens intently every week to what we have to say, and we're curious to know what her dinner party data would be. So, Victoria, over to you.
Listen intently, except for today, because I was trying to find dinner party data. I don't know how you
Welcome
guys
to
do
the
this every
show.
week.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like, where do you even start?
Good question.
My
Yeah.
brain is a cornucopia of chaos to begin with on a good day, and then saying like, "Oh, pick one interesting thing to talk about." There's so many interesting things to talk about, but I will land on something a little bit fluffier than what everybody has brought today. You guys are so smart. It amazes me and inspires me every single day. But let's talk about Christmas cookies. Do you guys like Christmas
go.
cookies?
Yes.
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 Okay, I have a huge sweet tooth, and I was brought up in a family where like Christmas cookie season started the day after Thanksgiving. So, according to Monmouth University, shout out to my home state of New Jersey,
Sources. Love it.
in a poll asking Americans what their favorite Christmas cookie is, or let's call them holiday cookies, because not everybody celebrates Christmas, but everybody can appreciate a sweet treat. Favorite holiday cookie at 32% is a frosted sugar cookie?
No.
Are all of you people insane? 32% of you decided a frosted sugar cookie?
Come on, people, we can do
oatmeal
better.
raisin. Oatmeal raisin. Talk to
I'm
me.
surprised it's not ginger.
That's gingerbread was second. Gingerbread came in second at 12%, followed by chocolate chip. Is everybody depriving themselves of a sweet treat throughout the year that they say
I
a
hate
chocolate
chocolate
chip
chip.
cookie is their favorite holiday cookie? I don't know. Followed by 6% at snickerdoodle, 4% at butter, 4% at peanut butter. Very big difference.
Maddening.
Chocolate, spice German, fruit and nut. Oatmeal at 2%, Marcus.
2%.
That's your peoples. 2% at almond,
Throw this out.
2% at wedding and tea cakes. I don't know about that. And then 2% at bars and brownies. Brownies have no place in my holiday cookie boxes.
What's your favorite?
That's like asking me if I like my right or my left hand better. But my mom, she does delicious rum ball. We're big fans
There
of
you go.
alcohol spiked desserts in my family. We do a nice rum ball. We do an Italian rainbow cookie. That's the red, green, and white layered cookies covered in chocolate. Those are a good one.
Well played.
Pecan snowballs.
Wow.
I take this information and I say I think we all need to expand our minds, our tastes, our palates, and our sense of
America.
adventure, because there's so much more out there besides frosted sugar cookies.
Victoria,
Well
what
played,
about tell me, I bet you're a fan of the lady fingers with the little jelly in between where one end's dipped in chocolate and it's got some sprinkles on it?
Obviously, and there's a little bit of raspberry jam or apricot
Of
jam.
course. Absolutely.
It's like the best cookie on an Italian cookie tray. in my
100%.
opinion. Other Italians will say that the Pignoli cookie is the best cookie, and to that I say that's an old lady cookie. So give me another
Shots
30
fired.
years, and then I'll say that the Pignoli cookie is a better cookie. It's got to be, like you said,
The
Blake.
Italian rainbow cookie's great. That's a great
This
one.
week's-
Put it in the box with a little Schfoyadel. some cannoli.
He's pulling out the Schvoyadel. Then we're talking
Here we go.
cannoli. Then we're talking about rum cake.
I'm expanding it.
This week's winner, Victoria, is the winner of the game of the week.
Thanks for including me, you guys. This is great.
To her. Another game of the week, dinner party data, all of it. Of course, V, thank you so much for sharing. That one was excellent. Should have only won every week. All right, I've got one for you real quick. How American households have changed over time, specifically from 1960 to today. So in the last 60 years, Dorothy Neufeld, a visual capitalist, had a piece citing data from the Census Bureau. She noted that in 1960, married parents, so 1960, married parents with kids made up 44% of all American households. That share has fallen to 18%. Married parents with kids from 44 to 18% in the last 6 decades. Over that time, the share of folks who are single, no kids, has more than doubled from 13% of people to 29% of American households. The largest group today is married, no kids, so that's close to 30%. The same share as 60 years ago. Single parents have gone from 4% to 7%, and the other category, roommates, adult relatives, etc., has grown from 8% share to 16. So what does that look like? So today, basically, they're saying that just over 29% of folks are married, no kids, 29% are single, no kids, 18% married parents, 7% are single parents, and then 16% are in the other category. So a few things to note based on that. That means 58% of American households now consist of married or single adults, no children. That was 43% back in 1960s, now 58%. Ms. Neufeld points out more Americans today are delaying or foregoing marriage altogether, with just 1 in 5 men and women aged 25, 1 in 5 of them aged 25 being married, the lowest on record. She also notes the US fertility rate has fallen to a historic low of 1.6 children per woman in 2023. That's below the 2.1 replacement level needed for population stability. And final one here, by 2030, 1 in 5 Americans will be 65 or older because of this low fertility rate. By 2030, 1 in 5 Americans will be 65 or older. By 2060, it'll be closer to 1 in 4 of us will be over 65 years old. I thought this was a good one because it kind of tracks how things have changed over time. And yeah, the weekly listen has certainly changed over time. But it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys listen into it, and an absolute pleasure having everyone who's been a guest be part of it, especially you three. I think you guys have been on the most, more than anyone, and we've had some great folks on. So thank you to everyone who's listened to it, who's been a part of it. Really appreciate it. We'll have more shows for you on Fridays, but they'll look a little bit different, and we'll have those coming for you in 2025. But a huge thank you to my guests for hanging out with me today. I thank first Paul.
Thank you, Marcus. Take a bow.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, sir. Not necessary.
And thank you, Victoria.
Thank you to Blake.
Yep. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you to the team for making this such a fun experience for us as a part of our work week for many years now. We look forward to what you guys are going to do next. Sincerely.
Thank you. Thank you to Suzy.
Thanks so much. I couldn't say it better than my colleagues did. It's really been a pleasure, and it's so much fun to do.
We really appreciate it. And thank you so much to Victoria, who edits the show, Stuart runs the team, and Sophie does our social media. Thanks to everyone who listened in to the weekly listen these past 6 or 7 years. And the eMarketer podcast made possible by LiveRamp. You can come hang out with us on Monday for our last Around the World show with Bill Fisher, where he'll be doing his usual festive forecast of past, present, and future. And then we'll have our last episode of the year of 2024 on Tuesday for you before we break for the holidays. Our first episode of 2025 will be out on Friday, January 3rd. Happiest of weekends.